So you guys crushed it. I posted about the 25 like goal and you guys nailed it right on the head. So hats off to you guys. I'm glad you guys are interested and you want to see more of this. And so another thing is, I mentioned the games XCOM and Fire Emblem in a previous video. And those things acknowledge a word that I haven't used as much that I'm going to start using for emphasis. That's the word tactical. Now, Source Code is a role-playing game, and it is a tabletop game, but it's also a tactical game. There's a lot of things that apply and a lot of words, and it gets all complicated and convoluted, but that's not the point I want to make. I want to make the tactical point because of controlling the character or characters and moving them around on the grid to sort of like get a tactical sort of spin to it. And because of that, I wanted to take you guys through a very short little battle situation that you can really see how the game mechanics work. Now, the miniatures that I'm using are not source code specific. There are no source code specific miniatures because we want you to go out and find something that you really like, or if you already have miniatures from another game, you can just bring them to this sort of situation. So let's take a look at that. So for this combat scenario, we're going to be only looking at two of the archetypes. The first one we're going to look at is the long shot. The long shot is our sniper based archetype, heavy damage dealer from a distance, and has a little bit of a stealthy twist to it too. Then the next one we'll look at is the Vanguard. The Vanguard is our combat and weapons specialist. They are flexible and can adapt to pretty much any situation. Now, we also have a second Vanguard here, but this one we have more of a heavy sort of Vanguard with. Now you can see that I have them just on a regular game mat, on a regular battle mat. And like I was talking about in another video, these are available pretty much online anywhere, at pretty much any hobby shop, and they're relatively cheap. ChessX is a good brand that I like to use because then you can use the wet erase markers, which I've used to basically just simulate buildings on the battle mat. Now, normally each of these three characters will be controlled by a person, but for this situation I'm just going to be the one controlling them, just to give you a little example. So because there is no combat or anything, the players and their characters will be able to move around the board, not having to really keep track of movement until a sort of combat phase starts. So Titan, being the cocky, headstrong sort of person he is, he's just moving ahead. And his two partners, they're just moving slowly behind, following, a little more cautious. So as they've moved ahead, they feel like a rumbling underneath their feet. That makes them think that there's probably something nearby. So each of them are going to roll a listen skill check. Now when they're rolling a skill check, they're going to use the 20-sided die, and they're going to roll that and then add their skill bonus to listen to determine what like the end result for their die is, depending on whether they succeed or not. And Titan rolled a natural 1. Now, in many tabletop games, including Source Code, a natural 1 is considered a critical failure. So because of that critical failure, he didn't just hear nothing, he is completely absent-minded of what's going around. He doesn't even know, like, he may have just thought that the footsteps were just him walking around and just vibrations that he created himself.
Oh no.
So because of that, he just keeps moving forward so nonchalantly like there was nothing wrong. Now, we'll roll for Atlas. Atlas rolled a natural 18, and then his listen bonus is a +3. So then there's a number of 21. And 21, we were going to set the score for 17 to hear it, so he definitely succeeds. Then we'll roll for Athena as well. Athena rolled a 15, and she gets a plus bonus of 4, so a 19. 19 is higher than the 17, so they both successfully hear it. And what they're hearing is they are hearing what definitely sounds like heavy footsteps further ahead. So they're a little more cautious. But because Titan didn't hear it, he's still just acting nonchalant and doesn't even realize. So things have not been good for Titan. Before he realizes it, a large mechanized creature comes around the corner of the buildings and then is staring him down. Now, because of their training and reaction time, they'll get one base action, each of the characters, to act before combat really starts. So, our two smart characters, Atlas and Palena. Atlas is going to take cover behind this building, and then Palena will take cover behind this one. Gives them a little bit more security and protection. And so now with everyone in place and combat about to start, we're going to roll initiative. Initiative is basically the turn order. It's who goes first to last, and it's determined by the value of your roll in descending order from greatest to least. So first we'll do Athena's roll. Athena rolls a 17 and her initiative bonus is a +3. Then roll for Atlas. He rolls a 3 and his initiative bonus is a +2, which gives him a total of 5. Then for Titan, he rolls an 18 and his bonus is a +3 as well, which gives him a total of 21. And then finally for the mech. The mech gets a bonus of +7, and with a roll of 13, they get a total of 20 as well. So both Athena and the mech rolled a total of 20, which means they both have to roll again. The mech rolled a 10, naturally. Athena rolled an 8, naturally. So we decided to do cover a little differently. We wanted to make it so that if you were at least able to partially see reasonably out of like just one side, so being at the edge of a building, we would still consider you in cover. And when you're in cover, you actually receive a bonus to your TD. That is your total defense. So taking his turn, he's going to use his base action to roll an attack. And he rolls a 5. And his attack bonus is a +5. So that's a 10. He attacks with a 10, is not equal or greater to the TD of the mech, so then he misses. That's a shame. Next, though, it's the mech's turn. And the mech decides to move forward. And he uses one base action to do that. During each of your turns, you get 2 base actions to use. And or a full run action. So then it moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it has a movement speed of 5. So it can move 5 spaces. Now, it's within range to actually attack Titan. And so it's going to roll an attack on Titan. It rolls a 2 with a bonus of 7. It does not equal Titan's TD of 18, thus it misses. She uses one of her moves to move back 1, 2, 3, 4. Get a little more range and distance between her and the giant creature. And then, because of a talent she has, she can fire her sniper rifle as a single base action. And so she rolls an attack. Then she hits with an 18. So then she's going to roll damage die for the weapon she's using. And for the weapon that she uses, she rolls 3 6-sided die. So we'll roll those. 6, 5, 2. That adds up to 11. And then so she deals 11 damage to the giant creature. We're going to stop there, but that's just an example of how combat and a little situation of source code works. Now, it is a lot of creativity and thinking and just honestly like a little bit of storytelling. But we hope that you get the booklet and you enjoy it and can't wait to show you more. So after going through a little scenario, little battle situation for source code, you have a better understanding, I hope, of the system, how it works in its own. You can see like the creativity that comes into playing these sort of games. And if you haven't played any game like this, I hope you play source code and try it. And if source code is your kind of thing, then awesome, I'm glad you like it. And if it doesn't really fit your feel, then I'm glad to have been able to introduce this to you, and maybe you'll find something even more that's right up your alley. So thanks again, guys. I'm really excited, and we are getting close to the end of like the anticipation, getting closer to launch. And along with this video, I wanted to share that by reaching that 25 goal, you guys have given me incentive to post the free and light handbook onto the website and available for download early, as well as the character sheets. One of them is a PDF form, and there is another that is a Word document itself, so you can fill in and edit it if you'd like to. Thanks for watching.